For decades, we whispered the same assumption, that Earth is the best place in the universe for life. But what if it isn't? In just 30 years of exoplanet hunting, NASA and other teams have confirmed over 6,000 planets beyond our solar system.
The tally passed 6,000 in 2025, and it is still climbing. Each new world, another test of how rare or common.
Most of these planets are invisible dots inferred from tiny dips in starlight, but the statistics they form are loud and clear.
Here on Universe Unlocked, we are going to follow those statistics to a bold idea. Worlds that might be even better for life than our own.
First, a quick reminder. The classic idea of habitability is the habitable zone, a distance where a planet could have liquid water on its surface. Get the distance and size roughly right. Add water and an atmosphere, and you have a candidate for life as we know it.
The problem is, we are judging everything by exactly one example: Earth.
That makes it tempting to treat Earth as the template of perfection. But physics and biology don't guarantee that our setup is the best possible.
In 2014, researchers proposed a new concept: superhabitable planets. Worlds that
They suggested planets a little bigger than Earth, with more shallow seas, stable climates, and older, longer-lived stars might give life extra advantages.
Especially promising are K-type stars, slightly cooler and smaller than our Sun, but far more long-lived, and
their habitable zones sit closer in, but stay comfortable for tens or even hundreds of billions of years, far outlasting the Sun's lifespan.
So if you were designing a planet for picture a world with more coastline, more gentle climates, and more time. Billions of extra years. From orbit, its blues and greens would look familiar, but the ratio of land to water and the spread of life could be far richer than on Earth.
Of course, this is theory. To know if such worlds are real, we have to sift through the thousands of planets we have actually detected.
Astronomers are especially interested in systems close to us, where small, rocky planets in habitable zones are easier to study in detail. Using catalogs of confirmed exoplanets, researchers filter for worlds with roughly Earth-like sizes and orbits in their stars' habitable zones.
Out of thousands of planets, a short list of favorites keeps appearing in the literature. Worlds that could, in theory.
One of the most famous is TRAPPIST-1, a tiny, ultra-cool star about 40 light-years away.
TRAPPIST-1e in particular is close to Earth in size and density, and it sits right in the system's temperate band where liquid water could exist.
Another top candidate is LHS 1140b, a super-Earth about 49 light-years.
It is about 7% larger than Earth in radius and several times more massive, likely a dense, rocky or water-rich world.
Recent studies suggest it might even be an ocean planet, with a significant fraction of its mass locked up in
LHS 1140b receives less light than Earth, but a thicker atmosphere rich in greenhouse gases could keep its surface comfortably warm.
JWST data hint that it might have an atmosphere and a liquid water-friendly temperature, making it one of the most exciting nearby habitable zone planets.
Imagine a world with more mass to hold onto its air, and more time under a long-lived star.
Then there is Teegarden Star, just 12.5 light-years away. With it,
Teegarden Star B appears to be similar in mass to Earth and has been flagged as a potentially habitable world right next door in cosmic terms.
Its neighbor, Teegarden's Star Su, may also sit near the outer edge of the habitable zone.
But red dwarfs can flare violently, and we still do not know whether these planets have atmospheres thick enough to survive that onslaught.
Being in the habitable zone is not the same as being truly habitable, and being habitable is not the same as being more habitable than Earth.
Two planets at the same distance from similar stars can have completely different outcomes, depending on their atmosphere, geology, and history.
That is why the superhabitable idea focuses on trends. Slightly larger planets, thicker
Standing on such a world, the star above might look smaller and more orange than our sun, but it could shine steadily for tens of billions of years.
Tables. Wide, shallow seas and sprawling archipelagos could produce more coastal habitats than Earth ever had.
With less violent tectonics and more time, stable continents and shorelines might give evolution a smoother path, without as many global resets.
To be clear, we have not yet confirmed a single planet as truly superhabitable. Still, in that grid of real planets, some points land close to the sweet spot combinations this theory predicts. Slightly larger rocky worlds around quiet K-type stars with moderate sunlight are now some of the top targets for next-generation telescopes.
Observatories like JWST, upcoming giant ground-based telescopes, and future space missions are...
By watching starlight filter through a planet's air during transits, we can detect gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane. Certain combinations of these gases, far from chemical equilibrium, might hint that something on the surface is constantly pumping them into the sky.
JWST is already testing this on a few key targets, and future observatories will be able to search for
If a world like LHS 1140b turns out to have a stable ocean and a modest atmosphere, it could become a prime candidate for signs of life.
TRAPPIST-1e adds another twist, a system with several potentially habitable worlds.
Some models suggest that even if a planet is tidally locked, a thick atmosphere and oceans can move heat around.
Imagine living in a world where the sun never rises or sets fully, where your sky is an eternal...
Or picture the superhabitable version, a planet that never locks up, slowly turning under a steady...
Given enough time, gentle climates and stable conditions might allow life to climb to heights of complexity Earth never had time to reach. Right now, that is speculation, grounded in physics and biology, but still waiting for data to tell it.
What we do know is that small, rocky, and temperate planets are not rare. They show up again and again in our growing catalogs. In fact, planets a bit larger than Earth, so-called super-Earths, seem to be among the most common types we find.
It is quite possible that the universe's favorite recipe for habitable worlds looks more like that missing super-Earth than like Earth itself. That idea is both humbling and hopeful. Earth might not be the pinnacle of habitability. It might just be one of many good options. Across the galaxy, there could be billions of habitable zone planets, and a fraction of those could be true super-habitable worlds.
Around long-lived, stable K-type stars, some of those planets may have been bathing in gentle starlight far...
More time means more chances for life to start, to adapt, and to survive the curveballs their planet throws at them.
From our point of view, Earth feels like the center of everything. From the galaxy's point of view,
within just a few dozen light years, there are already multiple systems with promising planets, each a possible chapter in the story of life.
On Universe Unlocked, we will keep revisiting these worlds as new data comes in, updating the odds on which might truly be more habitable than Earth.
These answers will not come overnight. It can take years of repeated observations just to get a rough read on one planet's air.
Behind every headline about a more habitable planet is a huge team of scientists patiently pushing instruments and models to their limits.
And the truth is, we have barely scratched the surface of our own galactic neighborhood.
Everything we have learned so far comes from a thin shell of stars around the sun, an almost invisible patch compared to the full galaxy. As our telescopes get better and our methods sharper, that bubble will grow, bringing thousands more candidate worlds into focus. When we say planets more habitable than Earth, we are not putting Earth down. We are acknowledging that for now, this is the only world we know, with life, stories, music, and questions big enough to fill a universe.
Now, that is the journey we are on here. From ancient Earth to alien oceans, from dark energy to...
If you want to keep exploring with us, Subscribe to Universe Unlocked and join us.
And tell us in the comments, if you could safely move, would you trade Earth for a planet that is more stable, more gentle, and more alive? In this episode, you have walked across sunsets on TRAPPIST-1e, oceans on LHS 1140b.
Somewhere out there, a planet more forgiving than Earth may already be overflowing with life.
State, sir. From that perspective, the question is not whether Earth is the best.
This is Universe Unlocked. Thank you for wondering with us about planets that might be even more habitable than Earth.